Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is episode 12, Single Stage to Minmus. So you may recognize this particular airframe. It's the exact same one that I just single staged to the moon in the last two episodes with some minor changes. You might notice that goo canister there hanging off the back is because I have changed the payload to be a little less appropriate for this particular deployment. Yes, less appropriate. We'll get to that later. Anyway, I cut out most of the takeoff and landing because you've seen it 100 times, and we're now here at a altitude of 31 kilometers and accelerating slash climbing both, because you want to do both in a single stage to anywhere. Climbing and accelerating. Hopefully both. One of the other's pretty good though. So thanks to a little time acceleration, I was able to cut this hour and some change video down to 20 some odd minutes, which I'm sure you'll be very thankful for. I know I am, because it means I have a lot less talking that I have to do, because I find it incredibly difficult to concentrate on what I'm doing in the game and talk about what I'm doing in the game. Alright, there's our liquid fuel changeover, thanks to the LVN motor, providing it's absolutely no thrust whatsoever. But even at this altitude, its ISP suffers, so I was really hoping to get a bit higher before kicking it on, but it's a pretty heavy aircraft, so. Alright. And bingo. 80 kilometers. We'll get our target set and we'll start setting up our node. Happy New Year's to everyone, everywhere. Chinese New Year's is different, but I don't know a whole lot about that. So anyway, and how's everybody doing in the new 0.90 beta? I have been playing it, but this is all footage that I have from before beta was released. But this episode, maybe one more, will probably be my last ones in 0.25. And I'm going to start something new and fresh and hopefully fun in beta. Just as soon as I can clear out some of these old ones and make room for new recordings. Because, man, this stuff takes up a lot of space. Alright. So, here is a highly sped up version of our burn. Yeah, we're going to be way off the mark on this. And, oh man, that spinning camera at such high acceleration is making my head a little dizzy. Alright, so we're definitely going to have to make another correction burn. But it's my fault. I should have planned things better. Alright, we're going to take it right out here at the ascending node and take it down 5 or so degrees. And toy with it till we got our encounter. We'll switch our view over here and try to tweak that encounter a little bit. I would like to come in over the poles, just because that opens up all available landing sites. We are coming here with a specific purpose. We have a contract to use a rover to explore some waypoints on the surface here of Minmus. So just to make sure that we can land somewhere close to this, we want to try to come in at a polar orbit. Yeah, Minmus actually rotates pretty fast underneath you. Angle those solar panels into the sun just to make sure we can keep some of that electric charge going, even though I know while we're firing the motor, we're charging the batteries anyway. And carefully monitoring our extraordinarily slow change trajectory here. Alright. Yep, there it is. How does that look? That looks pretty good. I'm going to run with it. I could probably get a bit closer to the planet, but yeah. I think that's a good enough rule. Alright. And now we'll bring our angle down. is I know this aircraft is going to have, spacecraft, sorry, it's going to have more than enough delta V to make it there and down and back, because we made it to the moon and down and back, and Minmus takes way less delta V than the moon does, despite it being further away. The gravity is so much lower that it actually takes way less fuel to do a mission here than it does to do one to the moon. So I know our fuel requirements will be very easily met, but it's no reason to get sloppy and inefficient. So, alright. Whoa, whoa, oh. I missed it. I screwed up. Alright, well. All that talk about how much more delta V we're going to have, I'm going to waste a whole lot of it right now. Because this is going to require at least a whole nother burn to fix. But, okay, we've still got like, what, half a tank, so we should be just fine. No worries at all. So, we're just going to continue to fire to retrograde here and try to actually put ourselves in orbit. Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, we're totally going to have to correct. This might put us in a collision orbit. Nope. Awesome. Alright. We'll just go on ahead and deal with that then. Damn. Oh, yeah, well. I'm getting really good at just swinging right past these nodes. Bummer. Because that landing site was like right on our orbit path for our first two passes. I was just not in the right place and then not paying attention. Good for me. Yeah, we're probably going to have to burn to raise that up. So, bummer. I'm just doing everything completely right today. Alright, so basically we're just going to pitch our nose above the horizon and start our burn, which is going to raise this periapsis. Into something that doesn't make us splatter all over the place. Alright, there we go. Looking pretty good. So now we're just going to take a couple of orbits. Maybe move some fuels around. We're going to shift it low to lower our center of mass to make it more stable on the landing gear. Might remember that from our last mission. But, man, looks like it's going to be a while before that landing site's in view. But yeah, that's where we're going, is that hill there, and those little rovery waypoints. I'm going to try to set it down below it in this area here. Below it being south. But yeah, this is going to take a while. Alright. We'll just keep fiddling with our time warp and try to get ourselves closer. It looks like maybe next orbit or two. Nah. Alright. As long as we can get on those planes, I think we'll have a happy landing site. So we're just going to go ahead and do it. Try to tweak this approach vector a little bit. Get ourselves lined up. And start tickling that throttle. I know the planet's not going to orbit enough to bring us below that hill where I initially wanted to be, but it should put us on the flats, and that'll be good enough. I'm kind of just want to put this guy down. We'll pretend for a second that I'm worried about life support or something, even though no, I did not have life support installed. Okay, my estimations were way off. Way the hell off. So we're just going to readjust this angle. Now, in retrospect, I probably could have adjusted it a whole hell of a lot more and still had way more fuel than I ever could have dreamed of. But I didn't. So take that. Alright. Now we're going to start making our adjustments for our final landing approach here. Gear down and locked. Alright, come on. Come on, Jeb. You're a better pilot than this. Even though you have no skill chart yet to tell me so. Start to hit that throttle. Not a whole lot of slowing down needed, but this engine sucks. As far as thrust to weight ratios. Everything has to be done a long way in advance, even here on Minmus. And had I been less tired and more alert while I was doing this, I would have been angling over to maybe get on the other side of that hill there, off to the left. Our left, not Jeb's left. Sorry. So, slowly but surely. Oh yeah, still tons of fuel in these tanks. We haven't even touched on the center tanks yet. Which is super awesome. Bring that throttle back, and we'll just let it fall for a little bit here. As long as we can stay pointed in the right direction. And my nav ball is in surface mode. Unlike the last time Jeb was here when I left it in orbit mode until I was practically in the dirt, wondering why the hell the planet was rotating so fast. It wasn't, it was me. Alright, now we can see our shadow, so I'm going to bring the throttle back up. Try to kill some of this. I'm not a fan of the suicide burn. Mainly because it usually ends up in me committing suicide. So I would much rather use the extra fuel and bring it in on my own terms. Here is nice and slow. And of all the things I maybe should have sped up in post, this was probably one of them. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, if we tip over or if we come down and hang a wing or anything like that, it's going to be disastrous for trying to get these guys home. It'd probably require a rescue mission, and that's pretty embarrassing, especially for something as simple as going to Minmus. But there are no parachutes on this, so there's, other than lift generating surfaces, there's no way of bringing it back home safely should we break something. Alright, nice and steady, guys. Nice and steady. No. Uh-oh. Nope, no bouncing. Come on. Ah. Sweet. And we are down. So let's open up these cargo bays to reveal our new and improved super sciencey rover. Take this opportunity to do some science. Of our mini materials bay. Turn on one of our antennas just in case. Nothing's coming overhead. There's nothing here, so that was maybe a wasted endeavor. Keep all of that nice data. Take a crew report. Good. Alright. Jeb, you're up. You get to be the driver this time. Bill broke that rover pretty bad last time on the moon. He trashed it, but he still accomplished his objectives. So we're going to do the take and leave data trick here. And, oh, come on, Jeb. Alright. We've got a couple of jobs to do here. First and foremost is to get the data out of that thing, because we don't know if it's going to survive re-entry. Make sure you don't hit your face on the wall. Good job. Alright, we got it. Whoa. Have you been drinking, Jeb? Why didn't you share? Alright. Please slap into the cockpit as much as you'd like, sir. Alright. I could have just switched over to Bill to do this, but whatever. We'll kick the rover out of the side. No, of course, doesn't land right side up. Jeb, you got work to do, buddy. So yes, as you can see, this rover has been completely redesigned to be way heavier than it needs to be for all the not gravity we have here. And it also carries a complement of science, because we're going to try to cover more than one biome here. Hopefully 3 biomes, but we shall see. But let's... Jeb, come on, man. Quit goofing off. No, Jeb. Whoa. Yes, if you bang your head hard enough, you will die, Jeb. You will die. Okay. Jeb, it's a rover. You're supposed to drive it, not fly it. So let's take it easy. Put it wheels side down. How about that first? Wheels. You can get down on the wheels. Yep. See, yeah, there's a lot less gravity here than there is on the moon. So you're going to be relying a lot more on that RCS system to keep yourself on the ground and pointed in a safe direction. It's not a sled. Alright. So now, Jeb, why don't you head off? You've got like 10 some odd kilometers to cover on your way to our objective. So we'll time warp. A lot of time warp. It's a little tricky to keep this thing even on something nice and clean as flat as this in a straight line and at speed and on the ground. And turning, oh man, turning, you just don't want to turn. You want to stop and then turn. Not while in motion, however. It's alright. Here comes the fun part. The hills. Yep. Good job dodging that rock, buddy. Whoa. There was a little bit of a super wheelie in there. Whoa. Okay, yeah. Switch from docking to staging and bad things happen. Jeb! Oh, Jeb. This is going to be bad. Oh, good bailout, Jeb. Good job. You can belt Jeb into things at a pretty good speed when he's not in the chair. But had he been in that chair when it hit the ground, that would have been clearly fatal. Ah, Jeb. Jeb, Jeb, Jeb. Flip the car over. Now, see, you let it roll. Use the massive torque of your skull. Yep. So there's going to be a lot of this, I can tell already. Rovers on Minmus. Not the best plan. Next time I'm bringing a rocket chair. It will be a chair, a fuel tank, and one of those tiny motors. Some science maybe. And landing gear. And we will just hop to where we need to be. I guess maybe it has to have a wheel somewhere, otherwise it doesn't count as a rover. I haven't really bothered to explore the intricacies of these contracts. But if I could just land a ship at these waypoints instead of driving to them, I feel like it would be a whole lot easier. So anyway, we're going to let Jeb do his job, and we will come back and see the conclusion of this exciting mission in our next episode. So, thanks for joining me, everybody. I am the Cosmonaut, and thanks for watching.